I think cougar is very accurate. Shows that they're on the prowl, looking for young prey.
Cougar, yeah. You know, I don't know how it got invented or who invented that word cougar, but I've heard that since I was like 13 years old.
The term cougar itself is actually quite recent, that it only dates back no more than about 15 years to a dating site. But it immediately caught on. It captured the public imagination, and pretty quickly people conjured up this image of this predatory it's a wonderful term in that it really does unite these elements of the predatory and the feline. So you get this image of the overly made up woman with the red fingernails and the push-up bra sitting at the bar waiting for unsuspecting young men that she can win over with her allure.
I think it's sad. I think it's sad for two reasons. One, that women should be given that predatory name. I mean, cougar's a beautiful thing in itself, isn't it? It's a beautiful animal. But there's something that doesn't sound very desirable about it. I just don't think relationships work that way. I think they come from the most unexpected quarters, and I personally feel that when you're hoping for a relationship, the first thing to do is to feel good about yourself. Go out into the world, and it's what happens then is the art and the mystery of life.
If we find somebody that we are compatible with and that sparks us, then that's wonderful. Age, does it really make a difference? I don't think so.
I suspect women in their 30s and 40s who like to date men who are in their mid to late 20s and early 30s don't look all that much different from women who might be in their early 30s to middle 30s who might be dating men around their age.
The man I'm with now is the man I am married to. I was a little nervous at first of meeting his parents because he was only 24, he was still at university. I was working and 33, so at a different time, a different age. I was aware, obviously, that we had a hefty age gap between us. And I guess I thought, if I was a mother, I don't know how I'd feel about my 24-year-old son dating an older woman. So I was a little concerned about meeting his parents, and I had that thought before I met them. I thought, now, shall I sort of fake it? Shall I pretend I'm younger than I am? Shall I say all sorts of naive things that make me sound like I'm a whole lot younger than I am? And I decided in that moment, and I'm so glad I did, that I'd be authentic and I'd just be myself, and so be it. And they took me at that, and that was fine.
I sort of looked back and I thought, wow, my goodness gracious. There's certainly been more than one situation or long-term relationship where I've been older than my partner. My partner and I, we met dog walking. We would have long discussions about travel and all kinds of things, and we seemed to be on the same page.
I think for a short period of time that would be great, but if it's going to be a long-term commitment, a lot of things to consider.
When we wake up in the mornings, we don't think about the fact that we're 8.5 years apart. But sometimes, for instance, when we do financial planning, when we think about our retirement, we realize then we've got two different ages on the go here.
Well, probably the health issue is probably something, but then again, health issues are a problem at any age. Once you get a little bit older, you do think about what can happen in the future. But if we worry so much about the future, we're not living right now.
These relationships have never really been represented positively. So I think that, in a way, and the perpetuation through the whole sort of cougar mentality, the whole sort of cougar image of the pursuit being largely, if not entirely, just for sexual ends, have made it kind of difficult for women to be comfortable with associating themselves, allying themselves with something like this.
I can imagine that people might feel a little bit shy about it. Women might feel a bit shy, possibly because there's a perception, they might feel that there's a perception that it's not a bona fide relationship. It's a relationship that's got some potential flaws in it. She might feel it says something about herself. I don't know, maybe something weird. I don't know, maybe like having a voracious sexual appetite or something. I don't know what she might perceive it to be.
I really don't know. I can only think that maybe society does not condone it, and if society doesn't condone it, like many other issues, then that, to me, could be the only reason that I could think of why anybody would even have a problem.
Society. I mean, it's always cool for an older dude to date a younger girl, but it's never been okay for an older woman to date a younger guy. It's the whole Miss Robinson syndrome.
I don't know. I mean, I date younger men too, so I don't have a problem with that.
I think with older women and younger men, the beauty of the situation is that I think it's an extremely even playing field where both parties get something out of it in a much better sense and healthier sense than if it was flipped to female-male.
For me, it's a little impossible. I don't want, but if there is love, it's cool.
At the end of the day, what makes our relationship work and what makes any relationship work well is how well two people get on together, how we communicate with each other, how we understand each other, how we nurture each other, how we deal with the day-to-day stuff of who's emptying the dishwasher, who's doing the finances, where we're going to go on our holidays, how much we're going to save towards retirement and how much we're going to spend now, who's listening, who's talking, who needs nurturing. All that sort of stuff is what makes the relationship work, and his age and my age don't really come into that so much.